Welcome back to Gaming Assembled. Today's part 10 of our Inheritance Series. Thank you for joining us. Before we start, we'd love to hear from you. So like, comment and subscribe to the channel and interact with us on social media. And thank you to Aaron Grable for subscribing already. Let's get started. Alright, so let's jump back in. So, to give you a little bit of a behind the scenes thing of what's happened here, I actually have recorded this episode once, and it's well, it didn't go very well. Not in the sense of the game, but in the sense of I had some problems for whatever reason. The software that I am using to record the gameplay and the footage and things decided to record for the first 40 seconds, and then after that it just didn't. And so I got to the end of an entire episode of recording and found that I only got the first 40 seconds, which is absolutely gutting because the episode that I did was absolutely brilliant. I thought there was quite a lot happened. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to start off with telling you what happened in the episode that you'll never see. So last time, obviously we've still got King John, and you'll see by his outfit that we had another crusade. And the crusade that we had was for an area in North Africa, the kingdom of Tehert, which is just here. And it went quite well, because the outcome of it, we sent our troops down to, and we fought down here in territory that's very familiar, considering this is sort of our home territory for the Madeira campaign. And I'm a bit paranoid, so I keep looking at my recording software now. It seems to be recording, so hopefully this is working for you. But anyway, the point is that the Holy War was won, and our daughter, so we had someone who we could nominate as our beneficiary this time. Our daughter has successfully taken on the mantle of Queen of Tehert. So our dynasty is now of 2 kingdoms, I suppose 3 if you count Wales, and we have got in our dynasty the kingdom of Tehert. And the interesting thing that we ended with last time is that, or as I ended with, I was talking to myself for half an hour, was the idea that at the minute our daughter doesn't have an heir, and her husband is in prison and she's 41. Now I don't know he's in prison in Mercia, it would seem, but the point is he's in prison in Mercia and she's 41, and so her heir is actually her brother Prince George, who is actually also our heir. And so that's going to be interesting. So it may well be that when John dies and we take on the character of George, it may well be that we inherit not only our lands up here, but also lands down here, and quite sizable lands down here as well. So this is going to be quite interesting as to how we go about things and how this impacts on our on how John handles things, because John is George even. George is compassionate and he's chaste and things like this. He's also a warlike courtier, so he's quite a military man like his father. So I don't know. We shall see. We'll see how it goes. But this is going to be interesting. Our lands are spreading, and I ended the last time just saying how interesting it was that we've gone from a 0-year-old baby with no skills, no nothing, and we've now developed this quite a rich story, which is brilliant. And one thing I talked about was I'd had a comment from Neil, so hello Neil, and about how he was saying in one of the I think it was the end of the last episode of this series, he was saying about how inheritance is going to be interesting. And you're right, I mean even more so now, but the good thing is that the bulk of our lands, or the bits that I wanted for John to try and hang on to, or John's, for us playing to hang on to if we could, were these ones here, obviously the main island, the Isle of Man, and sort of these ones here, and these ones I believe mostly we're going to hang on to. Now the exception being this one, but we're going to hang on to some ones. So what I think we're doing, and what I set in motion last time to do, because he's going to inherit, it's most of our sons are accounted for, so he will inherit Wales. Obviously our daughter has got Tehert now. He's going to be under the King of Wales, so it's just this other son and then these two daughters which are less relevant. So this son here, he will be the one that inherits this this land here, and this is the one that we need to do something with. And so what I was saying is that we need to try and find him a duchy. Now another thing that I did last time was to get a claim. Managed to get a claim on all of this duchy here. So what I'm thinking is we start with today's episode by doing that. We can found a holy order. The other thing I need to do is there is a granddaughter that needs to get married, so we could look at trying to do that. So let's see, alliance power, anybody nearby, anybody of, so they're just cities, so no one of any, these are republic, no one there. So let's see, any alliance that we could do. Tuscany, Verona, they're all fairly far away. Austria, Sudria, I think we've already got an alliance with them, I think, or at least we did. Maybe that alliance is gone, so maybe we do that. Sudria, bring them in. Yes, she, you know, any children of hers will obviously be of his house, but that doesn't matter because it's his daughter, so that's fine. Chances of them being inbred, I don't know why, but okay. So maybe there's a common ancestor somewhere, but I think we go with that. So that gives us another alliance potentially, and that's all good. So wait for that to tick through. New kingdom. So this is in response to obviously the Tehert thing that happened literally just at the end as we ended the what would have been the last episode. So with the establishment of the proper Catholic Queen in Tehert, the faithful can finally rest easy, knowing that St. George is smiling upon our good works. The fact that the new ruler of Tehert belongs to my dynasty is only further proof of our divine favour. Absolutely. I wonder what kind of ruler she will be, so I can switch to play as her, or time to focus back on my realm. I think we focus back on my realm. I think we're not going to abandon John. He is our main character that we are working with. So, yes, the other thing I did just before we go to war with Scotland, which I think is going to be our next move for this, is we expanded our men-at-arms last time. And again, it's really frustrating because I had this lovely conversation with you about how, about selecting which ones to go for. We based it on the terrain and what our opponents have got and trying to counter that and things. So I had this lovely long little dialogue, but never mind. So, I think that's that. We'll build our castle there. We've been looking to try and save up the money for that, and we've now got it. But let's go to war. The King of Scotland is currently at war as well, so that is a good time. And yes, he's got his allies, but so have we. We've got plenty of them too. So, our claims, we're going to claim all that. So let's go for that. We will raise our troops, and we will call an ally in. So, let's see. Well, we could do Sudria. No, we can't, because they can't be called as an ally against his liege or vassals. Okay, fine. How about France? France sounds like a good bet. Is he at war with anybody? No, he's not. And he's got 9,000 men. Bingo. Thank you very much. So, let's go to war. I think we'll just quickly switch John's clothes. Oh, no, we're not changing his hair. We want his clothes. Western armor. There we go. Back to normal outfit. We're back from Crusade. Change the clothes back. So let's send in the boys. In come the French. Excellent. So I think we'll just hover relatively near for now. I don't think there's a massive. In fact, no. Let's just go for it. Don't think there's a massive risk of us getting caught out. Oh, maybe there is. That's a bit too close in terms of comfort. So we'll stick together. I don't think they're going to come and bother us, and certainly not now. There we go. So maybe. Oh, John's not very well. Do you know more what is necessary? A little brighter. Excellent. Maybe go over. Will the French follow us? No, the French don't seem to be wanting to follow us. Defender of the Faith. Commotion amongst the children today. Myrne was attending to preach among her fellow youngsters and became a target of a small fight. Bevin was furious that anyone could target someone attempting to speak on behalf of their Lord, of the Lord, and chased away the other children. So, defending her sister. Excellent. You serve the divine will. That's certainly John's religious. That's certainly true. I think no one seems to be following us in terms of our allies, so I think we'll stick around here and we'll besiege. There we go. Maybe they're following this army. Maybe that's what they're doing. Familial reflection. Remember the day when my son Michael was born, my sensible son. Memories like these bring me comfort. No matter what happens, I know that my family is there for me, and that house Katin stands strong. The boar falls before the sword, I whisper under my breath. I don't quite know why that's comforting, but treasures the thought. Would he give him some money? Not necessarily. He's arrogant. There we go. We'll do that. Yeah, that's fine. Let's see. Will the French follow us this way? Oh, my old self again. That's good. Oh, the French are following now, but I need to help. So that's okay. Let's just wait here and besiege this down too. We'll go back and fight them. Artifact seized rather. Irish architecture. A courtier between friends. My vassal Mayor Fedelm has honoured me with a visit and has brought one of her courtiers along. Fedelm approaches me excitedly. Well met, King John. It pleases me to see you thriving here in the Isle of Man. It occurred to me that Mather here might be of service in your court. He is an incredibly talented strategist. His mind is always spinning out possible tactics. I could make use of him myself, but alas, it doesn't seem possible. Sorry, I would make use of himself, but it doesn't seem possible. Hate to see his talent go to waste. Yeah, why not? Could have stressed me out no matter what. So, but you know, there you go. Have we taken any prisoners? Yes, we have. No one of any major import. A little bit of gold though, which is good. I think it was actually the Duke of that land we'd taken prisoner, but never mind. We've got enough troops to do the job. So I might try and push over onto the Scottish mainland at some point. We've got another faction. What's this faction? So it's still him again. So this guy again, we talked about this guy last time. We're going to try and do something about him after this war. Otherwise it's just peasants. It's fine. So, I think we just sorry, I feel like I'm going to sneeze. We'll pause here a second while I blow my nose, and I will cut this bit out. Okay, so our daughter's come of age, so that's good. She has already got a betrothal to the Duke of Brittany, so that's good. So, I mean, it's not so good for her. I mean, he's like over 10 years older, but I suppose that's not too bad. But it's an alliance, that's the way it was then. Unfortunately, not always good for the ladies. But, you know, she's 16, she's a duchess. I suppose that's probably what she's been hoping for her entire childhood, perhaps. I don't know. But the war's going well. Okay, so we're trying to deal with some of this stress. Yeah, he'd give a load of money to charity. That's the way he rolls. We're still stressed, so we still need to do that. It seems to be a constant battle for John, stress. There's not a lot we can do about it at the moment, partly because he's commanding in the field. Maybe if we select a different commander, but nah. Let's see. So we need a new spy master. Well, this guy, he was the guy who requested us. He'd said he'd served us really well, and he's not a young man anymore, and he wanted us to give him some land. So maybe, you know, so that's what he did. But he's not got any children. His wife's not going to give him any now, so we're going to get that land back at some point anyway. So it's more of a loan, but never mind. We made him happy, and that's all that matters. So we're getting there with this. Oh, here we go. So we're going to get a peasant revolt now. So we'll send this army off to go and deal with the peasants, although I think the French are going to go and do it for us. Where else are they? They're down here. Oh, I've become the new culture head again. We should look at that. So that's that war done. Peasant war and that war done. Brilliant. 2 wars completed. Before we unpause, let's have a look at this. So I've clicked on the wrong thing. What have I clicked on? Yes, that's what I want. So we are looking at an arched saddle. So we get armoured horsemen. I like the sound of that. That sounds like a good idea. I think we'll keep up with that one. Yes, I think that's definitely the way forward. We've got all them. So we're on the early medieval period. Coinage rights, feudal contract. Yeah, I like that. I mean, again, it's a military thing. John's interested in military things. That military and religion, those are his 2 things. I don't think there's any particular religious things on here. So, yeah, I think we go with that. And there we go. War done. So we now have this county. What's this? Show him in. We get some gold. Brilliant. Thank you. Well chosen gift. Poet has come before me to recite a composition on the pleasures of life dedicated to the serene King John. While the gift was anonymous, Freya has gone to great lengths to make sure I would figure out that she was behind it. So this is our court physician. Wonderful. That's very nice of her. And when events stop popping up, I'll have a look at this. Getting stuck in. There was a commotion amongst the children today. So this is our 2 daughters. End up in a bit of a fight. Never back down from a challenge. That's definitely what John would do. Excellent. So I think we carry on this line. Or is there a religious angle that we could look at? Because it'd be one or the other with John. I think we carry on this one. Pursuit efficiency, retreat losses. Yeah, let's go with that. So we have just claimed this title here, and so we've now got this guy beneath us, and he's got these 2 lands. I thought he had like elf ears then from like Lord of the Rings or something. It was really strange. So can we revoke anything? No, not really. So what I was hoping to do was to give our other son, so he will get that title. So what I need to do really is give him some lands here, because he will get the Petty Kingdom of Connaught, but he'll also get that duchy. So I want to try and make it so that he doesn't get these lands over here. Succession is what I'm after. So, it seems I've managed to succeed in that, but he's still going to get the duchy title for it. So I think I need to give him a duchy title. So why don't I give him... Where is he? Has he got lands already? So, asked to join the Holy Order. Ask Michael to take the vows and join the Holy Order. That might actually be a decent one. Take the vows and join the clergy. I think John would go for the Holy Order. That would presumably mean that he wouldn't inherit lands. So I don't know what happens here. Does he... So he'd divorce his wife. He might accept this. And he gains a lovely devotion, becomes an order member, may not inherit titles. So he's like a 4th son of a fairly religious guy. Alright, let's give it a whirl. Let's give it a whirl. And that would solve our problems in a way. Or at least, I mean, it might create some, I don't know. But we shall see. No, I don't want to do that. Well, it was worth a go. Right, so I think then what we do is let's try and get some of this land back off Elf Boy here. I mean, he might die on his own, which would be good. His health is poor, he's ailing. So, I mean, that just means his brother will take the land though, so that's not really much of a help to us. So, let's try and strip him of some of his lands. So, let's do that. Oh, we can get some gold off the Pope. And we can ransom some people as well. I know I could wait and get a little bit more, but it don't matter. We'll not be greedy. Too many held duchies, I know. We'll deal with it in a minute. Few knights. Well, we can... Oh yeah, you can come along. Not a problem. 170 gold. That's a lot, but never mind. We'll throw our money about a bit. Hold a hunt. Oh, we're going to go on... Oh yeah, I want to go on a pilgrimage at some point with John. So we'll save our money up and try and do that. We're building our way to living legend and religious icon. Excellent. So... Let's... get this. Oh yes, so last time as well we met this guy. He is a Jewish scholar, and we did some work together writing commentary on the scriptures, and John was very kind with his he was very compassionate with his allocation of credit for this guy, and so this guy became our friend. So some moments must be recorded forever. The time that I commanded and won the Battle of Ossory against Domhnall is one of them. Such an incredible memory must be preserved for all of time. My mastery of the Goidelic language would make penning this a trivial matter. Then again, my dear friend, that guy who I can't pronounce his name, is so much better at writing than I am. Surely he would help if I asked. Assembling and illustrating a tome can quickly become a costly endeavour, however. So he is a true friend, becomes my best friend. Again, a memory of Domhnall artifact. That would be cool. I'll record it myself. Lose some money. I think we do the top one. It's his friend. He would do it, and we become best friends, and we've got a new artifact, which is great. Let's see. We've got some here that we're not actually using. Yeah, bro. Let's just. I'm going to leave the sponge on a stick to gradually break and go because I hate the sponge on a stick. We got it in a birthday present in the last episode, which you never saw. But yeah, Strife and Bloodlust. So okay, yeah, we'll improve that. We'll put that on there. Oh no, we're already using that. That's good. That's fine. Irish architecture. We captured that in a siege. I can't remember that was this time just now or last time. So right, that's fine. Spinning top. That's a child's one. So I think that's everything. Have we got one? Yeah, it's a court one. Well, in the previous episode, so this is basically a seduction sort of one. Previous episode, we saw how John was dreaming of his dead former wife and whatever. So I don't think he'd do that. I think and he's loyal as well, so I don't think he would do that. Right, so let's put our memory of Domhnall there, which is good. So we've got that in our court. Brilliant. Throne room, we've got something happening here. A healthy rivalry between mettlesome fighters is to be expected, but the growing discord between Jaffrez and Stephen is souring the mood at court. Jaffrez is widely regarded to be more skilled, and Stephen clearly takes issue with the assertion. In the middle of an audience, the latter bursts into the throne room and, clutching his sword hilt, cries, "Jaffrez, only one of us can claim to be the king's most skilled knight. Meet me outside and I will settle the question." So Jaffrez replies brutishly, "I would cut you to pieces where you stand if it were not for the presence of my lord, you reckless buffoon. Apologise and I may spare your life. I better act quickly if this escalation is to be halted." So this guy seems a little bit out of order. He has come storming in. I don't really want them to get hurt, so yeah, so they can become rivals, and I think he'd let them do it, but he wouldn't want them to be hurt, and Stefan wins the duel. Okay, fair enough. We can hold court. We'll look at that in a minute. Archbishop Gorman often quotes passages from the scriptures about holy virtues. I should prove I've paid attention by quoting a passage of my own, preferably one which complements his personality. I will memorise and recite a section on his personality. So he's shy, forgiving, brave, philosopher and warlike. Moderation, chastity, forgiveness. I don't know. Moderation, maybe? Okay, so he's pleased. That's good. Right, so we're doing that. While we're waiting for that to tick down, then let's hold court. Let's see what we've got. So, a new arrival at my court today is one Garcia, an envoy from the acquaintance Duke Ronan of Brittany. King John, it has come to my attention of my liege that you are harbouring even an individual of particular interest, your Frères, his legitimate claim on the county of Pathéve or whatever. It's in Brittany. Duke Ronan requests and demands the return of the errant subject of his. I send Garcia out of the room whilst my council deliberates. What should we do? Well, I don't think John would give him up, because John's loyal, he's also a fighter. If that Duke wants to take him, I let him come and take him. So I think we just say, get stuffed. I think that's what we do. I recognise the next set of petitioners immediately. They are Mayor Fedhelm of Ramsey and Mayor, that one of Ardee. In the last episode, these two had a bit of a scrap in one of these as well. So they actually came to sword fighting, these two women, so it was a girl fight. But yeah, we had that last time. But you didn't see that. I'm sorry. So, well known for their intense rivalry, most definitely. Worryingly, they are not arguing with each other. My lord, begins Mayor Fedhelm of Ramsey, we have to tell you that the non-adherence of your wife to Gaelic customs has greatly angered many in your realm. We cannot have a heathen French married to our ruler. Okay. I'm sure if you looked at this another way, so I can convince them to try and look at it and try and. So I'm basically asking their permission. I can turn their attention onto the wife and say, she's the enemy, not me. Still like me, please. Perhaps you'd back those words up with steel. Well, I think he'd probably go, in a way, I think he'd probably go with that one. I don't think he'd try and manipulate them. I think he'd just say, look, no, he's arrogant. Yes, he's compassionate, but I'm the king here. Granted, my prowess is not brilliant these days. I'm getting a bit old. 72 now. But I might be able to intimidate them still. Successful intimidation. There we go. The unrepentant Earl Aidan graces you with his presence. Haltingly he begins, my king, I am loyal and willing subject. Let me practice my faith in peace. So he wants me to give him basically a pass on his religion. Judgment reserved for God alone. Come, let me show you the word of St. Catherine. So 80% to get him to convert to my religion. I think he'd definitely do that. You need to reread the scriptures. I think he tries to convert them, and 80% converts faith. So he is now Catholic. Excellent. There we go. My business here is done. So I think that's lovely. So we've still got this guy who we want to deal with. I'd love to be able to convert him, but I don't think I'm gonna. He'll want a favour from me, and although at 72 that's probably the best time to dish out favours, when I'm going to be dead soon and not going to actually, able to give them away. But yes, an inappropriate exchange. My daughter Bebin seemed to enjoy our latest feast immensely. Afterwards, she could not stop talking about the feelings that locking eyes with one of the younger servants had caused in her. So she can be lustful, greedy, or gregarious. Well, lustful and greedy are both sins. Gregarious is not. So show her to make friends at a feast. Yes, I think we do that. So I don't think he'd teach something sinful. So what we need to do is just try and get this land. Get this... oh, that's nice. A little bit of comfort there. Open-minded. Brilliant. So, lines about legacy. So, I can see this truly heartfelt. Yeah, I think he'd do that. He's compassionate, he's nice. He's alright, really. He's a bit gruff at times, but generally speaking, John ain't too bad. The joys of wine. All of a sudden, Archbishop Gorman and my courtier Freya barge into the throne room bickering. Wine offends God, it must be avoided, screeches Gorman. A bit of wine is healthy for the body, replies Freya. She's quite right. Especially red wine, I'm told. But there you go. From a corner of the room, Catch interrupts the discussion. The only amount of wine that is good for you is all of it. So we've got one guy who wants no drinking, someone else who wants a bit of moderation, another one who just wants every drop there is available. She's quite the alky. Wine opens the door for Satan. A little wine keeps the humans balanced. Or toast with me. Well, I think he's religious, so that's the side of things, but he's also quite arrogant, so I think we go with the humor's balanced. We go with that one. Middle of the road. Made a friend with our daughter. Excellent. And as I say, we'll get to the... Ooh, our ally's dead in France. Joan drew in at once, get some more money, that's great. So, yes, I want to get to this claim. We'll take this bit of land off him. We'll give our son that territory. And then hopefully that will mean everything works out nicely. In regards to our succession plans, all we need to do is just survive, because I've got an awful fear that John's going to keel over and die any second, because he's getting old. I have come across the book describing how ancient monastics used trances and visions of ecstasy to commune with heaven. Seems strange practice at our modern age, but perhaps there is something to be learned from them. I wonder what would happen if I imitate their practices. You test the mystical practices. What do other texts say? Well, he's a man of action. He'd go for it. I think at the same time, mystical knowledge. Locked in a room, strange powders and burning fire provided overpowering heat, smoke and smells as I tried to feel the things that lie beyond the world of senses. So he's getting a little bit of a drug high. I do not know how much time passed before strange, indecipherable visions of light pulse around me. Pulsing sounds came to me. Was it my imagination or glimpses of the divine? Is there even a way to tell? I need to try again and see if there's anything different. Continue the experiment. Mystical knowledge. As I experiment more and more, I get a clearer and clearer grasp on things. As if it is as if I can now summon the presence I feel when I start my little ritual. It offers stability and comfort as the chaos of the world swirls around me. This is what I've been seeking, so I gain the trait of a wise man. Nice. I think what we'll do, hold mystical communion. Excellent, that might be interesting. The only one who truly knows. I think what I might do is we'll go on a Crusader pilgrimage. I think because this is something John's not done. Exceptionally long pilgrimage. We'll go to Jerusalem. Pilgrimage departure. So he's not done this in his life, and he's now just died just after we've done that, which is typical. So, King John of Ireland rests in the arms of the Lord at the age of 74 years of age. He died of old age. Known to be exceptional strategist, he spent many of his days examining fields and drilling his troops. King George ascends to the throne, loyal to his spouse and family. George is certain to place the good of his dynasty above all personal concerns. Continue as King George. So, there's no point now fabricating a claim on that, I don't think. Maybe we will, maybe we won't. But I think for now we leave it there. We'll pick this up in the next episode. Let's see what we've still got territory wise. We've still got all the territory we wanted to keep, which is good. Our brother, it worked out well in the end. So our brother, the one that we were trying to sort out with Connacht, he has got Mayo, because that came back to us, so that worked out nicely. The previous guy, that knight, obviously had died, and I'd not realised, and we'd inherited that, so that's good. So he's got that land, he's got that county, the thing there. So I think, yeah, I don't think we need to. We'll not bother with that now. No, wrong one. We want that one. Don't need to fabricate a claim, because that is now, he is under him, and so he's his problem. It's not an issue. Our other siblings, so we've got this brother who now controls all this in the south, which makes him quite powerful. But he's getting up in years himself. He's 54, and he's obviously got a bit of a drinking problem. He's also got a couple of sons, so his titles will split, which should help in the long run. And that guy who was under us before and was a bit of an issue is now under him, so it's his problem. So that's that. Who else? Our sister is still down there, and we are her heir, so that'll be interesting. That brother is still under us. So the Kingdom of Wales didn't break away. So did we lose that land? Yes, we did. We lost Gwynedd previously, and I'd not realised. So that meant that the Kingdom of Wales never formed, so our other brother never actually broke away, which is good. So he's still under us. He's got some land in Ulster, otherwise that's fine. So it would seem, Neil, that everything worked out well. Succession wasn't quite as much of a headache as we were anticipating, so that's nicely. But we've got quite a bit of work to do. We need to set up our council again. We need to look at how we move forward with our new character. We'll get to know him next time. But we'll take one last look at King John, our first character, and wish him goodbye. And we'll move forward into the new period of King George. The king is dead. Long live the king. And on that note, I'll see you in the next one. Take care.